Alright, so today I am going to delete my 2014 6.7 Powerstroke. If you see my last video, you saw I just got it. I've had it actually about a month now. When I bought it, the kid said it was fully deleted, and it wasn't. He just did the muffler delete and still had the EGR, so I'm deleting the rest of that stuff right now. I'm just following the GDP step by step on how to do this, so I don't know, maybe if you're watching this will help you a little bit. I already started to take some of the stuff off. I took the headlights and the grill out, obviously, and I already drained the coolant, and I took the intake off. I gotta pull the box. And the first thing I did, which I learned on my last truck, these exhaust pipes here, this one, and it goes down to that manifold down in there, was the first thing that I loosened. So these are already all loose. These are finger loose, because I read people say to do it when the truck's warm. So obviously once you unplug the batteries and all that, you can't start the truck, so it's not warm, and a torch didn't work last time. So I was nervous because I had the bolt break on me last time. So I did them yesterday when the truck was warm. I didn't even soak them in anything, actually. They just came right out, thankfully. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on the rest of this. I'm gonna pull the box out for the intake, and I unplugged the harness. I'm gonna take this apart, and a couple, maybe it's this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's not this one, it's this one. Take this apart, and a couple of things on here, and get back to it. Pulling this box out, I had to push this little boot here back, and then kind of reef on a little bit, but oh, I guess I didn't have to do that. Just had to put my purse into it. She's out now. It's just these little nipple things that plug in down there, and she comes right out. And you gotta take that bolt out. It's right in front of the battery. I didn't see it because this was in the way, but it's a little 8mm bolt right there. And then you just yank the rest of it out. Okay, so I got this one off top. That one's off, went there. Runs down here. That braided line. Runs down to right there. So I gotta pop that off, and then that line will be done. Okay, I finally got this one off. It was a pain. That clamp that's on there, and clamps suck. So I have a bunch of different ways I was getting it off. I got it with these. I pried it in here. I pried it out this way, so then the clip spun up this way. And then I got in there with these and just slowly pinched it, and you know, with these curves it helped me, you know, whatever, it worked. So got that off. I just gotta pull it out, which I think it just pulls right out. This little clip here is what's holding this in, which I thought would just pull out. Maybe I'm just a sissy. You just gotta put your purse into it. And oh, come on, man. Too much stuff. And voila, there she is, off to the junk pile. All right, so I got those two lines off. I went to here, and then here to the bottom of this, and gotta keep that. I'm going to take this line off here, and then I gotta take this little T out of here and connect these two lines. beautiful. So like that. Don't need that, and then this little thing's gonna plug these together, and boom. Coolant shall flow. Okay, I just put this little fitting in here, this brass fitting. Doesn't come with any clamps, my last one did, so it's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to put clamps on here. Oh, maybe this is them. What an idiot. So it does come with clamps right here, so now I get to put them on after the fact instead of being able just to slide them over the thing. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. It was weird. A buddy of mine, his fitting in here was plastic. I don't know what they were thinking, but plastic and heat don't like each other. It was kind of a stupid move. So it broke one day, so we replaced it with a brass fitting, and it's been fine ever since. So if you have a kit and it has a plastic fitting, don't put it on there because it's probably gonna break like his did. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but oh yeah, look at that. Let's see if I can zoom. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that nastiness. Look how nasty that is. Oh, that is no good. So I keep forgetting to do step by step. Get ahead of myself. So this has a 90 on it. This, it comes over something like this and is on to this connector. So it's like facing the driver's side of the truck. And then the 90, it looks just like this one. I don't know if you can see, of course there's shadows. It looks just like this one. Like that 90, you rip that off. And with my paper towel, put this on and unplug this orange plug, this plug, which went to here, and this plug, it went right there. And in the directions it tells you to unplug these at the same time, but I did that first. So yeah, those three plugs, this vacuum line. Oh, and I peeled this off of here too. And in the directions, like if you're doing just to delete without this boot, it tells you just to unplug this orange clip. And this orange clip is like on the bottom side and it's kind of hard to get to. And when you're doing this slides back. Like it's like one of these stupid ones where, you know, clips in, like slides in for it to stay locked, and then whatever. I don't have fingernails so I can't peel it back, but it slides back out and then you press that down and pull it and it comes off, but it's really hard to get to. But if you are doing the cold side pipe, which I recommend because these are plastic and they break, when you pull that valve off, this buttery valve or butterfly valve, whatever they call it, there's 4 bolts. The bottom one on the right side is the hardest one to get. So it just had me take, get my phone out, this the exhaust pipe, it's this little one right here. As you take that one out, that runs from there to here. It's 2 bolts on each side. 2 bolts on each side. Like I said, I broke them loose when the truck was hot because I learned that from somebody and it worked. I don't know if it's because this truck is from the south and my dually isn't, but it did work. I didn't even soak them with anything. You can see I didn't even put any oil on here and they are finger loose. So yeah, try to do that if you are doing yours. Break those loose beforehand, because it makes this step a lot easier and less time consuming. Because my other one, the bolt broke and I literally spent like 5 or 6 hours just trying to get one bolt out. So if you get lucky like I did on this one so far, you'll get your bolt out right away. So here's the longer pipe that you have to pull out. I don't know why it's not focusing, but you can see the difference between the two. You can see down there, that's where it came out. Oh, that little gasket thing's still in there. So that's where one of the plates will go. And then the other plate goes back out. One plate goes down there, and then one plate goes right here, where my phone is. That right here. The one on the right is the one that broke on me last time. So that's the one I spent all the time getting out, but the left one did come. So if yours are hard, everybody says take your time. Seriously, take your time. I would, if it gets like comes a little bit loose, loosen it, squirt some PB Blaster or WD-40, or there's some stuff called Aerocroil, I think it's called. Spray that on there, let it set a while, literally let it set a while, and then come back 20-25 minutes later, go a little bit more, even tighten it, and you know, tighten it back in a little bit, squirt some in there to try and let it get down in those threads and break free, because it's not worth breaking it. Like, you're better off trying to do other things while that's, you know, the PB Blaster or whatever is working its way in, because the time you spend trying to get that bolt out, because it's a hard bolt, it's a hardened bolt, I don't even know what kind of metal it is. We had carbide bits, and the carbide bits were barely cutting it out, so it's a very hard bolt. So it's worth taking your time to just let the stuff ease in there so that you can just slowly take it out. Okay, so last night I got the EGR out and I stopped recording. I was getting frustrated, so I figured I'd just go over it again today. So there is this bracket back here, if you can see that, and that bolts to the back of the EGR, which I'll show you. Right here. You can see that right there. I had to cut that off because the way that this sits in the truck is, this is like towards the grill, this is towards the back, you know, the cab of the truck. So it's in this way in the truck, and this is backwards. You can't, and you have no room to get in there to loosen that, you know. So I had to cut that bracket. Come on. So I had to cut that bracket right back there. Yeah, and that was the hardest part. Getting to the one bolt that's on the passenger side, the furthest one back, was a little difficult. I highly recommend making sure you have a swivel handy, because that helps tons. Oh, and this. So in the directions it says something about unplugging or removing like a coolant line, and I didn't know what it was talking about, but it's talking about this. It's like two little things you pinch down here on both sides. There's one on each side. You gotta pinch it, and then this pops up and it slides up. And I didn't know what it was talking about in the directions, but this is what it's talking about. You pull this thing up and then get it out of your way, and it's way easier to get back there to get that bracket off. But I cut it with a Sawzall because I had no other way. Gotta be careful because those lines and stuff are back there. There's coolant lines, I think, and a harness. I don't know. There's some important stuff back there that you can't hit. But that's how I got it off. Got the EGR completely out, and I have over here. You leave both these gaskets in here that are already in the top of the motor, and then you have to put this gasket in here that they give you in your kit. I have the pass-through plate, so maybe if you just have a block-off plate it might be different, I'm not sure, but put that in there, and then this side goes down like this, and then this here is the where it passes through. That goes on there like that. Then you bolt that whole thing down on top of there. And then that's that. Okay, now I got this plate on here. Now the next one is down here into the manifold, which is this plate right here. So you have this, and then there's threads in the middle of this, which is for this, which is supplied with your kit. And this screws into here. So then you take this sensor, screw it into here. When you tighten this all the way down, obviously. Screw that in there, and then that's what goes into the manifold. Okay, so I put this gasket here in this block off plate for the top here. Right here, this light's making it weird, but this just goes in here like this with your bolts that they supply you. And then I got this bottom plate all in with the sensor in there. So that one's good to go, and this is all tight, and that one's good to go, so I just gotta put this one on now. Okay, so I got this plate on, this one on, and this one down here with the sensor in it. So all three of those are good to go. I'm still waiting on parts. I didn't get my exhaust yet, and I didn't get my new cold side pipe, so I'm gonna take this off now so that tomorrow, once I get my pipe, I can pop the new one on and put this new piece in here. I don't know what to call it, but put that new piece in, the new pipe, and then just a few more steps after that. Okay, so I just got this cold side pipe off, and this is a sensor that you're supposed to keep. This is in here. I think it was in there. Yeah, this way. There's like this little tab on here. I don't know if you can see it by my thumb there. It looks like you're supposed to spin it like this way, but you don't. You spin it this way. And there's like a little like tab hump thing right there that this little tab on my thumb sits by to make it look like you're supposed to spin it this way when you go up over that and to the right, and then just pull it out. And you don't need to keep this, but you do need this sensor. I went through here with a bunch of extensions. It's a 7/16 for that little nut that's on there. Put it on there, and then I just took like a little pry bar, stuck it down in there, and just pried on a little bit and wiggled it, and it popped right out. There it is, finally off. So like I said, tomorrow I get the rest of the exhaust, well, all of the exhaust, and I get the cold side pipe. So tomorrow I have to run the shift on the fly, or switch on the fly, whatever it's called. I have to run that, coolant, plug in some things in, and put the cold side pipe on, exhaust, and it should be ready to rock and roll. Well, it's Monday, and all my stuff came. All the exhaust stuff in here, and cold side pipe came. So I got that, clamps. This is the little spacer thing I was talking about, I don't know what to call it, that replaces the butterfly or buttery valve. They call it buttery valve. I thought it was butterfly, whatever, but see it's hollow on the inside versus having that stupid thing in there. So yeah, gonna mount this bad boy up right on there, put the cold side pipe on, and then fill her up with coolant. Alright, so I got this cold side pipe all in, got this spacer bracket thing, whatever you want to call this, I don't know what it's called. Got the boot in, got the harness plug back in, and now we're gonna put the coolant in, and then I gotta do the tunes. But I think that's it as far as and then obviously the intake, but as far as the motor goes, that's it. Okay, I got the intake all installed. which I don't really care for this new style thing that holds the glass, because it's just like a rubber thing that holds it in. My other one actually had, you know, some screws that held it in, which seemed to be better. But got all that installed, get the pipe installed, coolant's back in, and then my ghetto switch on the fly, shift on the fly, whatever. My clip is broke, so I had to zip tie these together, which sucked. The way I got that through was I took, oh my god, did you beep that? Yeah. What the heck? I had to use fishing line to fish that through. You're a dick. The key to getting that through is I had to put fishing line on it and then feed it through and pull it out that way. But my clip's broke, so I have it zip tied. Right now I'm downloading the trans tune, and I had to flash it back to stock because it was not stock. Like I said, he had the DPF removed, so I had to flash it back to stock. Now I'm reflashing it with the new tunes. But everything's all buttoned up. I don't know if there's any leaks or not yet, so I'm just waiting for, okay, it's doing some weird stuff. It's alive, apparently. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the rest of the tunes to download, and then I'm gonna fire it up.